I'll put. Do you know what? I'll put this straight on the channel. That's what I'll do right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just do that. So yeah. So I'm gonna put this decapitator straight on the channel. Actually. Listening now.
Is that different for different tracks? So if it like, because you do get a different result, even though you're messing with like dries and wets and stuff like that. But
yeah, all different tracks, different bass lines, give different frequencies and produce different results and whatever. So I just take each track as it comes. I don't think I do the preset thing really on stuff like this. I can use the same bass note, but make it sound like something else by just frequency and just plugins, in it.
Yeah.
By subtracting the frequencies and using different plugins. You know?
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Let's try it. Just to get sort of like a different shaped bass note, just to give it a bit of grit. Go mad, obviously, but just gives it a bit of bite to me.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just get those extra harmonics that cut through as well.
Yeah, and then you can get on here if you want. Turn some of that. Oh. Shape it on here however you want to, and then cut some of that, the high harmonics out. So yeah, that's how to do the bass on this one. I'm out on the battlefield, jungle. And then it's just important to sort of like separate what the bass and the drums are doing. But in this case, I think if you get rid of all the sort of like the frequencies that are going to mess with the drums, it's a simple one because it's quite a relaxed bass line. It's not some sort of like hard high notes or some crazy stuff. Do you know what I mean? Which is going to like overpower the drums. It's just simple sine wave, like sub, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
And there's no compression, which I know you don't do anyway. But like, so where people use compression on bass is it's generally sometimes to level it off, because like you said, sometimes the louder notes will come through with higher energy. But I would just say we'll just turn down the MIDI note then, or if it's audio, turn down the audio note. Why go for a compressor? Or you can create an extra like power or thicken things up with compression, but there are other ways of doing it with, I think, like what you say, a bit of saturation there, or just making sure the bass isn't fighting other elements in the mix to make sure it comes through as it should anyway. But is there any particular reasons why you don't? Because compression is commonly a thing for bass, that people do a lot, but I don't, and you don't, and I know a lot of people.
Yeah, I tell you what, when I didn't understand what compression was about, like, I just used it as a like a plug-in to manipulate stuff. It was just for me, it's just like it does stuff to your sound, and if it's just on a bass line, I'm quite happy with it. I'm happy with it. I don't need anything mess with it.
Exactly.
I don't understand why you'd. So I'm happy with that. So what I think a quick fix. What I do if my bass line's all over the place. Me and Response done a track called Just Another B Line. It's along 2 or 3 octaves, so it's all over the place, right? The bass. So it's real simple. Right? If you use Logic, for me, it's real simple the way I do, because I don't want to complicate it too much, because I'm not really that kind of guy. I just want to make some tunes. Right, so I'd simply do this. I mean, like, so working with these 2 plugins here, like on your bass. Right, one second. So let me just get rid of the drums. One second. This is like the easiest way ever, sort of thing, without compression. Okay, well, just say if like I was like, oh no, I don't want all this here. This is a bit much. Or this one's, the what is it, 32? It's going to be about 50 hertz is too high. Well, I'll just turn the 50 hertz down.
As
I can never
surgical
let
as that with a graphic, yeah, or you wouldn't use like you'd go with a graphic EQ like that.
Yeah, I've been using the graphic EQ since I was like 5 or 8 or something.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
like,
So you know it.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
like, and then sound system stuff, EQ and four band stuff and whatever. So I know how to use an equalizer for that. I use anything, mate. So,
Yeah.
I'm honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's interesting because I used to use this when I first got on Logic.
I'm gonna show this to Whitey. He's gonna laugh his head off, mate. Trust me.
Yeah, I used to use the graphic EQ a lot when I first got older Logic. Not so much in recent years, but I
Yeah.
do like a graphic EQ, man. I do, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can level up anything on this, mate. If your bass is like ridiculously up and down, just have a look at it. Get it smooth. I mean, this one's not too bad, but you know, get it a little bit smoother. All you got to do is pull some of these bands down. Do you know what I mean? You know, that's obviously they're all gone. But if you've got a problem, I didn't have a problem really.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd do it anyway,
Yeah.
right? Just to show you.
Yeah, of course.
But that's the quickest way, man. You don't have to compress anything. And then what you do is, right, compression. How I look at how I use compression is when I've leveled everything out and mixed my track. Then compression is like, woohoo! Do you know what I mean? Compress that, boy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Crunch it all together.
Say again?
Crunch it all together. Give it all.
Yeah, for mastering and stuff like that. If I want to do it real quick, or I just send the master to Tony or you or whatever, get mastering.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what I'm looking towards. I'm looking towards someone getting out there, like a master engineer, getting out there, 10 grand, awesome compressor, and just like bringing all my track to life. You know, I still wait. I'm sure you, even though you're a master engineer, you still wait for it. You still like enjoy a vinyl thing coming through.
It's great.
Listen to it, and it's been like compressed and dealt with and whatever, and on the vinyl it sounds a bit different.
Yeah,
We still enjoy that day, innit? Do you know what I mean? So,
and it's always good to have someone else. It's always great to have someone else master because they come from a different perspective. You don't. Well, I know you've had issues with mastering engineers, so have I, but we want things a certain way. But yeah, when it's right and you get the right mastering engineer and they understand what it is you want from your music, it's magic, man. It's great.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
I must stress, this is how I like to do things. Like, do you know what I mean? I like to get a nice smooth wav, a pre-wav. My output will be bouncing on like -13 or something lower than that sometimes. And I have to turn it up, do you know what I mean, at the end and stuff. I'm just like, I like to soften everything, basically. I like to smooth everything out. Do you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. And it's funny how you say that mag thing's a samurai sword of the EQ kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just like to smooth everything out, get rid of all the rubbish, and yeah, at the end, compressors and all these amazing things make my tune sound great.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been loving how your master's tracks have been sounding, mate. They sound really nice and chunky and thick and fat, mate. Great, honestly. Been using some of them as reference tracks.
Wicked, man.
There's a remix you did for Madcap recently. You sent me
yeah.
Master. That sounds nice. Been using that as a reference track. Sounds nice.
Layered. Do you know what I mean? The thing we do for time, layered the bass on that.
Yeah.
Ones you hear the sub and you hear more energy, don't you, from the mids and that come in.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's more bass, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nice little trick there, mate. That's the first time I've done that.
Yeah.
It's just that that's kind of a parallel compressing type thing, I think. Because I did sort of like blast up. We had a conversation, didn't we, about how we like some of the style of music that people like Serum and some of those Ram guys are putting out. And Serum and Voltage and all them. Like, we like the style of some of it.
Yeah.
I remember, like, and like, I mean, I didn't do that, but I did put like a lot of energy in the mid range and the mid range and treble layer. Where usually when I'd lay a bass and the mid range and treble part of it, I'd just stick it on top. But this time I really stressed it out in a parallel compression type way, and then I just sort of nudged it up until I heard the energy, and then I'd probably nudge it up a couple more dB than I usually would, and then I whacked it even more. So when it comes in, it does sound like. It gives me that feeling of like a reggae sound system, the sound of bass as well as feeling the bass.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So
it's interesting to say that because that one has jumped out to me, and I've been like, yeah, man, you're right. The bass sounds louder. Obviously, there's saturation there and layers and stuff, but it doesn't sound distorted. It just sounds louder in those low mids and that energy in the mids. It's just yeah. So yeah, man. Whatever you've been doing, man, it's sounding good, man. So.